What were you seeing as far as progress in the run game?
What am I seeing? Well, last week you didn't see much statistically at all. Kind of had an idea going into the game how big of a challenge that was going to be. Wasn't proud of the production in terms of yards and everything, but I was extremely proud of how our team got over 30 carries. When you can do that and when you're averaging under 3, that means you're doing a lot of good things. You're staying out there, you're executing, you're doing good on third down. But it's, we missed some opportunities earlier in this year. Got a little harder versus the Rams. It's going to get harder this week versus Tampa Bay. But we just got to keep pressing away.
That was Kyle Shanahan discussing the 49ers run game, which has been shockingly just unlike them, Chris.
Right.
The volume has been there, but 82.2 yards a game, that's 30th in the NFL. 3.06 yards a carry, that's dead last. I think the question I threw to you before we started this exercise, is this a personnel issue?
Yeah.
Is this a schematic issue?
Right.
Or is it just a blend of everything?
Right. I think this one is one where you go, it's personnel all the way, right? I mean, Shanahan is arguably the most creative run game designer in the sport,
He knows
right?
what he's doing here.
And he's a little bit handcuffed right now. If you do watch them, they're not as schematically fun to watch in the run game, but that's because he doesn't trust his personnel to do some of those things, right? I think that's the big thing we're talking about here. He talked about, they're like you're saying, their attempts. They're great. They have great patience that way. They're running the ball right now just to keep the defense honest and so they can keep throwing play-action pass. That's the only reason they're running the ball sometimes. I think they know, like, hey, we're not going to get many yards here. Let's just run it up the middle, make them keep thinking about it. Let's lean on them a little bit. Let's just not let them tee off in the pass game all game long and do that. That's what they're trying to do. He talked about, you saw there, they had missed some opportunities early against some bad defenses where I think he thought, oh, man, we should have been able to run the ball against these guys, or we messed up a few plays where this could have been a big play and we blocked it wrong, whatever. Now, that's not the case the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks is ass whooping. Right. I mean, that's all there is to it. Right off the bat, you don't need to watch film with the 49ers. Just know this. Right? You saw my notes. No one's scary at wide receiver, so that's going to allow teams to load the box and do that.
Yeah.
How good is the O-line actually? Right? How good is it? And we're going to break that down. So you get into that. And then they're also missing George Kittle, who's one of the best run-blocking tight ends in the sport. So those are all three things that really hurt. But the bottom line is, and before we get into it, is the interior part of the O-line is just not good, plain and simple. And I would say the two guards, it's not just okay, it's bad. They're bad. And the center, Jake Brendel, is a good player, but he's not. He's a good player in the sense of he can do the thing Shanahan asks a center to do, because he asks them to do some physically tough stuff with, hey, help here, and then run and get the linebacker over here, right? Athletic stuff that's where he's good. But when he has to play top-tier nose tackles like a Vita Vea or somebody else, he's not the kind of guy that's going to win those battles, right? So he's kind of like a system center. But the interior part of their O-line is clearly the problem, and the two guards are really a big problem in their run game right now.
Between Dominic Pooney and Connor Colby?
Yes, right. It's domination in the run game. They don't move anybody out of the way. Shanahan's famous for some of his creative pulling guard plays and all that. They pull and do that, but they lose battles against safeties and linebackers and don't create any space for McCaffrey. And then they get their ass whooped. Sorry, London, all right, and that one in the pass game too. And a lot of the times you're looking at Mac Jones getting hit or whatever else, it's because of the interior part of the O-line. So, yes, that is the number one thing that is holding them back right now. And they're just trying to run the ball to keep you honest. And their pass game, drop-back pass game, is actually as good as I've ever seen it with Shanahan. More ideas.
With Mac Jones.
It's great right now. And, of course, McCaffrey's been awesome in the pass game on top of that.
It's interesting you bring up maybe the lack of trust in the personnel, because you look at their numbers and by how they've done with certain run schemes. Like when they run pull, lead, or power, which isn't often. They've only done it 16 times this year. They're averaging over 5 yards a carry on those few attempts. But they're a heavy outside zone team, 3.2 yards per carry.
Right.
Inside zone, under 3 yards a carry. And their man runs, under 3 yards per carry.
Yeah.
So, they are getting flashes of success with the puller, but they don't lean on it.
No, they don't lean on it, because I think there's so many other plays, too, where they go, wait, we did this, and we got destroyed with this guy at some point. I think they're trying to live on the outside edge of the run game. Like we saw like the Bears last night. They said the hell with running out the ball up the middle. At the end of the game, they started to go, if Washington put everybody there, let's toss the ball outside. You look at the 49ers, you said at the outside zone, some of their good runs the other day, they were like, the hell with running inside. We give up. We give up. We're going to go outside and try to make something happen there. It's interesting you said that there's a little more success with the pulling guards.
The sample is so small,
right,
but when
right.
they've done it, it's gone well.
It's hit.
Well,
right.
listen to this. Like, this is jarring.
Right.
Outside zone, they have 72 outside zone runs this year.
Right.
They've been stuffed, which is no gain or a loss.
Right.
On 17 of them.
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, when you really get down to the numbers, that means almost like 1/5 of the time you're almost losing yards.
For Shanahan to be calling that much, to me, also speaks to he doesn't trust things up front. He's like, let me just go to my bread and butter, my outside zone. Guys know what they're going to do. But, of course, everybody knows that's his bread and butter, and they're all over it. So, yeah, that's crazy. One of the things that jumps out to you in the game is you do watch and you go, yeah, okay, McCaffrey had 17 for 54. You take away like his 2 top runs of the day, which were like 11 and 9. You go, he had like 15 for like 30. Or, I mean, literally like around there where there's nothing at all. Shanahan's doing as good a job, I think, coaching as on the offensive side of the ball as almost he's ever had. I mean, they're making it work in a way that he doesn't make it work all the time. And it does look like the pass game has a few more ideas. If I was ever critical of Shanahan in the past, I'd always go, his drop-back passing game could use a few more ideas and wrinkles to it. I can't say that from what I've seen this year, and especially the last few weeks. He's got 9 million wrinkles to everything, and they're staying competitive and winning games because of the drop-back pass game, but I don't know how much longer that's sustainable either. And that's what you worry about as we play better defenses with better D-lines. They've had a very favorable schedule to this point.
Yeah.
And we saw with Tampa, who's big up front, it gave them issues, and you worry about that if they have to play teams like that as they go forward.
Homie33 asked a really good question here. Is Trent Williams not the same guy anymore?
Well, he's still good. Is he like, hands down the best left tackle in football? No, that's gone. But if you looked at anybody, like their offensive line, the tackles are still good. They're fine. Colton McKivitz on the right side does a great job. Trent Williams still does a lot of really good stuff too. And he has moments of dominating. So, yeah, I mean, is he, like I said, he's still really good. So I got no issue there watching him. And I've watched him, somewhat closely, really 2 or 3 times on film this year because I've been kind of waiting to go, this has got to fall off to a degree. But, man, it hasn't fallen off much. I mean, he's still freaking awesome.
Another comment here from Jordan Bennett. The loss threat of Debo running the ball and horizontally stretching the D is an issue for the Niners' run game. Colby is a UDFA rookie getting worked right now, and Pooney has regressed, and Brendel, he meant to type, is subpar.
Well, exactly right. Yeah, that's right. Pooney has regressed. That's
kind of how you opened with.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me ask you something then on the Colby discussion.
Yeah.
Like, at what point did the Niners, I'm not saying it has to be top 15 pick after top 15 pick, but maybe put a little bit more resources into this. And Pooney was a third rounder. Which isn't nothing.
Right. They missed on Aaron Banks, right, who didn't work for them.
Let him walk to Green Bay for a lot of money.
Go to Kansas City, who was a good just rotational. We got an injury.
Yeah, they've let people walk.
They've let some people walk. I think a little bit like Shanahan believes in the offensive line. They're in the process, as we know, of kind of trimming their roster and rebuilding for the future right now. That's what they're really doing, and that's what's awesome about them being 4-2. I think within that, one of the things that we always talk about, like you got to look at some area of your football team to go, we can't be the best at every position in the sport, right? Despite what the Eagles have built and maybe make us think at times. But I think off of that, I think where every team tries to cut a corner in one area, and I feel like the 49ers, really throughout the Shanahan era, have been a little bit like, Kyle's awesome at coaching the offensive line and the run game. Let's not overpay our O-line. Let's overpay some of these other guys, and Shanahan will figure out how to make it work with the upfront part there. And this year, it's not working. It's too below water for them to even stay above and breathe and make some positive things happen. So I think that's big time. And the point the question made there, I think that the Debo screen game and some of that stuff is certainly a part of it. No doubt about it. To have a guy or some sort of guy in the slot where you go, wait, nickel linebacker who has to kind of worry about that slot guy. Right now, he's just like, hey, I'm out here, but I'm coming to help the run game. I'm out here, but I'm coming to help the run game. I'm not worried about this so much. And I think that is another aspect that's a very good point by Jordan Bennett.
I like that you open, though, with no George Kittle definitely hurts them. It just allows them to be so multiple. It's like George Kittle's on the field. Our run game doesn't not only suffer, it's
better.
a plus.
It gets better.
And our pass game is a plus.
Our pass game is a plus. Plus, our pass game off our run, which we're better with George Kittle, and now he sneaks behind the linebacker or he blocks down and then goes to the flat on a bootleg and all that. Those are cheap little plays that the 49ers are masters at that we don't go, oh, wow, that's so amazing or awesome. But we go, after every game, they probably, with a George Kittle in there, you go, that was 8 or 10 plays today that George Kittle's, his presence opened up things in the offense. And, yeah, they're missing that as well, along with no heated receiver that scares anybody in football right now.
I mean, that's just all the proof you need of why he's the most valuable tight end in football.
Definitely.
It doesn't necessarily mean the best at one thing, but he's definitely the most valuable tight end
for that
football.
Offense and what they ask of. Yes, he's special that way. His leadership, his personality, all of that. And, yeah, with no Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel and Ricky Pearsall not in, yeah, his presence is missed in a big way there, and they need him back.
I think to cap off this conversation, and you're talking about the run game from a 6-week perspective, but I mean, a little credit to Vita Vea and the Bucs defensive line as well, right? And we say on the show all the time, Todd Bowles is just not going to let you run.
No, he's not going to let you run. The thing I like about Todd Bowles, too, this year is he's not going as crazy with 5-man rushes as I've seen in the past. He's just sprinkling it in at certain points here. But your point's real. I mean, Tampa, they got big people. They're physical. I mean, so that's not an easy team to run the ball, no matter who it is. But we're seeing these things every week with the 49ers. So, and there you go. There it is. I mean, it's spot on here. And, again, I don't think it's going to get much better as we go forward. I don't see it and going, oh, wow, watch out. No, I mean, hopefully it can get a little bit better to where defenses have to worry about it. Maybe it takes another jump once they get healthy with some of the receivers and all that to where teams have to change a little how they approach that way. But, yeah, that'll be a big thing. The other thing I want to just say as we go out to give Todd Bowles a little credit, both interceptions, I would go, those are Todd Bowles specials right there. The interception early was a very cool disguise to kind of cloud to cover 2. I think it tricked Mac Jones or the receivers or all of them. Then the interception at the end of the game. I wish I would have written down so we could screenshot it and put it right back here.
Right.
Because they were playing a single safety defense. They blitzed 5, and they got to a Tampa 2 with the blitz in a way that was very unusual to where I think it fooled Mac Jones. He was like, wait, this can't go to 2. I've never seen a look like this. He had a guy running a slot little out route.
Yeah.
And I think he saw Jamel Dean, and he's like, wait, this is single safety.
Yes.
The guy behind him, he didn't cover his guy. He's going to be open. And no, it was an incredible way in which they did it. They had Antoine Winfield down on the weak side, like helping the run. He went to corner on the weak side. The corner went to safety. The middle safety went over the top to where Jamel Dean was, and that's why Jamel Dean didn't have to worry about the guy in the flat because there was another, curl flat nickel area guy there that was there for it as well. So, yeah. Good to see Todd Bowles, even in his older age, changing it up a little bit. Respect to him and the Bucs.
Yeah, there's a lot of quarterbacks that would have threw that ball. Was my takeaway from watching the overhead of that play.
Exactly
Dean's eyes played it perfectly.
Exactly right. And Jamel Dean's long, and he's got pretty damn good hands, and he made a nice play on the ball. Yo, homies, it's time to watch some games. That's right. We're on to the NFL season here with Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, Sunday night recaps after every game, and much, much more.
Thanks for watching. Peace out, homies. Remember, subscribe. Peace out.